Thank you. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Welcome to Weekend Update. I'm Michael Che.
I'm Colin Jost. Well, it's the first show of spring, so we'll start tonight with puppy murder. In a new book, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem revealed that she once shot a dog that was untrainable. That's insane. If a dog is untrainable, you don't shoot it, you give it to President Biden.
Donald Trump said at a rally that he would make November 5th Christian Visibility Day. Wait, I thought that was called Ash Wednesday. The Florida Supreme Court has allowed the state's 6-week abortion ban to take effect. So now Florida's only remaining method for ending a pregnancy is roller coasters.
MAGA insiders are saying that Noem, seen here wearing the hair of that dog, now has zero chance of being Trump's running mate. But I don't know, something tells me Trump would fully support killing disobedient pets.
Mitch McConnell, seen here catching up on news from the Middle East, announced that he will step down as the Republican leader in the Senate. McConnell has been leader for almost 20 years, but he first got involved in politics back in 1968 when he lost a fiddle contest to the devil. Insiders said that during his hush money trial, Donald Trump complained that none of his supporters were in court with him. But that's not true. What about all those cops?
It was also reported Friday that the U.S. economy added over 300,000 jobs. Unfortunately, most of them are bridge fixer.
Experts are saying that 2 different broods of cicadas will hatch this month, releasing trillions of cicadas into the U.S. And Biden is just letting them in.
Former President Donald Trump, seen here definitely not sleeping. He's probably just praying. Former President Trump, for the first time in his trial, wrote a message on a yellow Post-it note and handed it to his lawyer while he was making an argument. The Post-it read simply, "Can't pay you."
A new report shows that South Korea now has the world's lowest birth rate, despite the efforts of South Korean entertainer Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I heard you. Yeah. Hate it. First Lady Jill Biden also unveiled a new ice rink near the White House, setting the stage for next week's headline, "President Shatters Pelvis on Ice Rink."
Officials at Columbia University complained that protesters broke windows and destroyed school property. But so what? College kids also do that when they win the Final Four. Also, you're a university. If you really don't want students to freak out, stop telling them the truth. That's my advice for school and relationships.
After a judge issued a gag order against President Trump, Trump told reporters that the judge said, basically, I don't have the right to speak. Then he added, she's like literally killing me. Then he yelled, you're not even my real mom, and slammed his bedroom door.
President Biden said that the National Guard should not be called in to deal with campus protests, but I'm just happy that he's finally not sending military aid somewhere.
House Republicans have introduced a bill to rename Washington, D.C.'s Dulles Airport after Donald Trump. Because airports are a lot like Trump, a chaotic nightmare that turns you against your own family.
O.J. Simpson died this week at the age of 76 after a battle with prostate cancer that was planted on him by the LAPD. That was my best joke, Colin.
Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene said next week she will force a vote to oust House Speaker Mike Johnson. And if there's one thing I bet she's amazing at, it's driving men away.
It was reported that the man who married a conjoined twin is facing a paternity lawsuit from his ex-wife. Great. The last thing that guy needs is another mouth to feed.
A family in Michigan whose duck lost its mate placed a personal ad online to find the bird a new partner. And in a loving act of understanding, they even specified power bottom.
During a campaign event marking the start of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, President Biden criticized Japan as being xenophobic, which is crazy because why would the Japanese be scared of foreigners? Oh my God, Drake just dropped another diss record, guys. I'm just kidding. I just say that when I bomb. Honey.
I'm sorry. I apologize. During oral arguments in the case, Justice Samuel Alito raised the hypothetical, could a black department store Santa be forced to take a picture with a child dressed in a Klan robe? Alito added that he'd love an answer before he takes his grandkids to the mall next week. Florida's new abortion ban means that the majority of women in the South will have to travel more than 300 miles for the procedure. On the plus side, you can get free travel to New York by disguising yourself as a migrant. A fist fight almost broke out at a congressional hearing after Senator Markwayne Mullin challenged the president of the Teamsters Union to a fist fight. You challenge the president of the Teamsters to a fight? Do you have a death wish? The two things I learned growing up in New York were never mess with the Teamsters and don't drink that Snapple you found on the subway.
A new poll shows that supporters of President Biden and Donald Trump are sharply divided over where they get their news from. People who support Biden are more likely to get their news from newspapers and mainstream media, while Trump supporters get their news from T-shirts.
This week, Donald Trump Jr. testified in his father's civil fraud trial. And based on this courtroom sketch, I feel like it didn't go great. He's supposed to be talking about real estate, but he looks like he's on Law and Order saying, that girl came on to me. And unlike the other packed courtroom days, only 4 people showed up, and Donald Trump Sr. was not present, which is just like all of Don Jr.'s childhood birthday parties. A new census report shows that by the end of the year 2060, 1 out of every 4 Americans will be Latino. That's how good Bad Bunny's music is. Donald Trump also told supporters that if he's elected, he will focus on anti-white racism. Thank God. My people have suffered long enough. Sorry, Che, but time's up.
House Speaker Mike Johnson said that he is blurring the faces on the footage of January 6 rioters so that none of them would be charged with a crime. So unfortunately, we'll never know who they are.
Several major media companies, including NBC Universal, have pulled their advertising from Elon Musk's X over concerns that ads for their shows could appear next to pro-Nazi propaganda, which is a huge relief because I was definitely worried about where this was going to end up.
I knew it was going to come out of you someday. Today was the 150th running of the Kentucky Derby, also known among horses as Squid Game.
There was actually an error in the LA Times obituary for O.J. Simpson. In the section about his prison time, instead of writing O.J. walked out of the Lovelock Correctional Center, they wrote Trump walked out of the Lovelock Correctional Center, a free man for the first time in 9 years. And it's not a great sign for Trump that even autocorrect thinks he belongs in jail.
It was announced that both Boomer Esiason and Phil Simms are leaving CBS's The NFL Today. The former quarterback said they want to spend more time figuring out which one is which. A new report shows that the gender death gap is rising, with men dying an average of 6 years before women, which is, it's actually scientific proof that men are actually dying a little every time we have to listen to your boring ass stories.
Fans of the children's show Bluey are saying that a line in a recent episode hinted that Bluey's mom used to go to a park to smoke marijuana. Meanwhile, over a cocoa melon, every baby's on acid. Just hours ago, the Kentucky Derby was won in a photo finish by Mystic Dan. Mystic Dan is also the guy who sells acid to Coco Melon.
President Biden met with Japan's prime minister where they discussed building a new bullet train system in America using advanced Japanese technology. In return, Japan requested the advanced American technology of forks.
A new study finds that your risk of developing diabetes depends on how fast you walk and whether this sound plays while you're walking.
It was reported that Sylvester Stallone is writing a memoir. The memoir is 300 pages long and has a word count of 1. That's good acting, right, Colin? You like that? I've been working on it all.
Really good acting.
New Jersey police recaptured an escaped pig named Albert Einstein. They call him Albert Einstein because compared to people in New Jersey, pigs are geniuses. Oh, man.
Wow.
New York City officials are considering controlling the city's growing rat population by using birth control pellets, which will also finally let female rats focus on their careers.
An 11-day cruise is being offered next year from Miami to the Caribbean in which passengers will be nude. The cruise will offer pickleball, cornhole, and also games. A new report chronicles a disorder called sexsomnia in which people try to have sex while they're asleep. The report was written by someone named Phil Fosby. The TSA reports that in the first 3 months of this year, they've intercepted 1,500 guns in carry-on bags, and the majority of them were loaded. Because you're giving me that window seat. It was reported that the James Bond books are being rewritten to remove offensive material. So the character Pussy Galore will now be called Cooter Aplenty.
May is National Masturbation Month, so stop knocking on my dressing room door.
Don't encourage.
Having a real rough time.
Well, a new trend among parents is to choose baby names that sound cool as TikTok handles. Great news for little baby Trick Shot COVID Hoax. Flacco, the beloved owl that escaped from the Central Park Zoo, died last week after he flew into a building. Flacco will be remembered for his famous last words, "Oh cool, another owl."
Xin chào các bạn, rất vui là bạn các bạn. Hôm nay chúng mình sẽ cùng nhau đi tô màu cho bức tranh Chú bé đang đi câu cá này nhé. Vậy là mình đã hoàn thành tô màu xong cho bức tranh cậu bé đang đi câu cá này rồi đấy. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại mọi người trong những bức tranh tô màu tiếp theo nha. Xin chào.